Hello from Farland. I've been doing some thinking and sorting lately, and I am starting to plan a major change on my layout. I want to make some changes because I feel the curves in the oldest part of the layout are too tight, and I would like to add some additional space where the board is cut off at an angle here for reasons that are not an issue anymore. I would also like to have a sweeping curve instead of two 90-degree corners. In other words, instead of two tight corners, I would like to have a near half circle so the trains can run smoothly around. I am hoping to have curved platforms at the new Howe Street Station, and I would like to have the clearances between the trains and the platform edges to be more like the ones I achieved at the new Shell Hill station. I also feel like the Howe end of the layout is not very logical, and I would like to change that. In addition, I would like to have a road that goes under the railway so that there is good access to the marshalling yard. I think it might be nice to have trains go in front of some buildings and behind others for a little variety. Perhaps I could even have a proper level crossing somewhere. I have a few issues with the old points I would like to replace, particularly here. I installed them when I was not that knowledgeable or skilled. Not that I am so skilled now, I just think I could do a better job since I have more experience. I also added the point motors long after the track was down and glued down and nailed. Adding point motors that are under the board after the track is all down can be difficult. Another goal is I would like to have more sidings and more choices for trains at Howe Street. This drawing is the way it is now. It was the final version on the as-built with Shell Hill here and Howe Street Station here, and then going down here, here's the tunnel and the viaduct for those of you who are familiar with my layout. So this is the part I'd like to change. And I have a drawing of what I think I'd like to change it to. Well, it's upside down. But I can fix that. Well, what I'd like to do is I'd like to extend this a little bit out to the side of the table. Right now it's about 8 inches from the edge, and I think I can go out fairly close to the edge of the table now. I'm more confident about it than I was when I originally built this. So I don't feel like I need quite as much margin right here, and that will allow me to have longer radius curves after the bridge. I'd also like to change the bridge and build a new bridge here that's more interesting than the old one. Then I would have through tracks and outside tracks that will actually have platforms. Well, I probably have a platform here, and so there'd be 3 platforms altogether. But then I can have my road tunnel come underneath the mall right here. So that's the plan. Here's a slightly blown up version. It was sitting this way. Now I'm going to change the orientation to this way. But you can see, these are feet, by the way, because the drawing is not plotted to scale. It's easier if I want to measure something, I can just use my calipers and measure it very easily. See what it is. These are feet and inches. The old drawings were all metric, but that proved to be difficult with the AutoCAD version that I am currently running, which is real old. So here we go. We come across the bridge over the top of the other tracks, come out along the edge of the table, then we divide off, and right now I'm dividing these two on this track, dividing those, but I want to also divide this one, and I may even add another one in here, I'm not sure. So I can incline here, and I can incline around here. I could keep this level, and I could decline a little bit here so that I'd have a raised area that was level right through here. Now this side of the table is a half an inch higher than this side of the base table, so I don't need to quite come down as far as I would if that wasn't so. I actually need a little less than 12 feet to make the elevation change at a 2% grade. So I think this will work. That's the plan anyway. I'm going to try to do a multi-part progress series of this modification. I'll take you over to the layout and show you what I'm talking about. Maybe it'll make more sense that way. For reasons unknown to me, lost in the annals of history of Farland, I suppose, I clipped this corner on the layout. Not sure even I remember why I did that now. But then I come around a fairly sharp 90-degree curve and down through Howe Station and up at the far end around another fairly tight 90-degree curve and over to the bridge across the tracks where it crosses over itself. I don't really have any proper access out to the marshalling yard, in my opinion. I'd like to blend this end of Howe Street in better with the rest of the layout. And I think by moving the track out to the edge and having a large sweeping curve and then having a road access under the tracks out into this area, I'll have my town out here instead of on the other side of the tracks. I'll leave the back scene up and some of those parts of it, but I'll probably move some of my buildings out into this area. So what do you think? Crazy plan? Let's go down and look at the other end. So there's the Howe Street Station. Tight curve leading over to the bridge. And I have a fair amount of space where I can bring the tracks over closer to the board. That'll give me more room on the marshalling yard. I'll have to take this little hill out here and then probably have to rework all of this, if not remove it. But I can save the trees and add those back later. Anyway, that's the plan. Let me know what you think. Maybe somebody will have an idea I should incorporate in the curve modification. So we'll see you next time on part 2 of the big curve modification. Bye from Farland.